Hey everyone, and welcome to Not the Newsletter Episode 8. My name is Chris Adams, and today we're here with Noah Wiley to spend a little more time digging into artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and technology, as we always do. And so today we're talking about something we actually brought up in a recent newsletter, and so we're just going to spend some more time unpacking that. Noah, we talked in the last newsletter about the hackers that have stolen a significant amount of Social Security data from all the Americans. So what are your thoughts on that? I kind of gave some advice in the newsletter, but we're going to spend some time digging into that a little.
Should my thoughts be that I'm scared? Because a lot of people are scared.
Are they? Yeah.
Well, of course, wouldn't you be?
No, I'm not scared, no.
Oh, okay. Well, then you
I've already taken all my advice.
all of your advice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I thought it was weird that it wasn't really talked about that much because I actually didn't really know much about it until it was a newsletter topic,
Sure.
which is weird because it's Social Security. When you see headlines, you Google it, and it's like, oh, uh, billions of American stuff might have been like exposed. Like, okay, no one's going to talk about it, but
Yeah.
yeah. So once I did start reading into it, kind of figure out what happened, I at first thought it was like a government breach or something like that. I'm like, how is no one talking about this? It's actually not true. It's just a third party company, right? Like National
Right.
Public Data or something like that.
Right.
But yeah, it looks like they just had a breach like a while ago that exposed like a lot of information, first name, last name, social security addresses, stuff like that. All the normal stuff that gets exposed in a breach. They had a really wide delta of what it could have been. It could have been like 1.3 million, and then some people were like, "Oh, it actually could be like in the billion range."
Right.
So it's kind of hard to tell like whose isn't, but it could affect apparently any American that has any. So I guess any American adult. Oh no, they could be a kid too as a social security.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, it's shocking that it's more, and I wonder if it's to the point now where we're just so used to,
Desensitized.
yeah, breaches and things like that now
Mhm.
that it just is what I got a letter the other day about, I don't know which breach it was this year, but I got a letter in the mail. It was like, "Oh, hey, you got breached, and congratulations, like,
Congratulations.
your data probably was stolen. We don't know for sure, but we think it is." And and they gave you one of these things where you can sign up for the credit monitoring, credit
Mhm.
alert watching thing and stuff.
Oh
Um,
sure.
but I had to call a phone number. I was like, "Oh, that is so sly." I was like, "I'm not gonna do that." I
No.
already, my data has been breached enough times that I'm on the list for
Right.
whatever other one I had previously, so I don't need another one.
Right.
Um, but no one's gonna call the phone number. I mean, maybe not no one. I bet you they cut 70% of people out by having a phone number, sort of like
Yeah.
a
100%.
QR code or a URL that they could just go to and sign up for it or something, or
A
like,
step in. Yeah.
yeah, a token that they could just log in into a website and do it. That was awesome. I was like, "Oh, you guys got that one. That's awesome." There's no way people sign up for that.
So so I feel like there's still not a lot of information like about it yet, mostly because I'm pretty sure it's all like kind of under wraps and
Yeah.
pending
Right.
litigation and everything like that. But long story short, just like any breach, what should people be doing? You already kind of snarkily said some of them, but you do have some actual good advice of what people can do. Some of it techie, some of it not, but all of it valuable and everything like that. So like, what are some things that you've done in events, stuff like
Well,
this?
yeah, that's why my credit score has been locked down at the 3
Hmm.
bureaus. Honestly, I don't even think it's all 3 of them. I think I just have it locked down at a couple of them. But usually when they do an actual credit lookup, they'll do it across all the different bureaus. So honestly, if any one of them is locked down or 2 out of the 3 is locked down, it's usually enough for them to trigger off like, "Hey, we got
Right.
no information back from these credit bureaus," and that's usually enough for them to, especially for like a house or a car, something big like
Hmm.
that. They're definitely going to hit all 3 of the databases and make sure that you are who you say you are.
And how much does that cost to freeze that
That's nothing. That costs you literally nothing. You have to make an account and prove that you are who you are, but
at each of the three bureaus? You have to make an account.
correct, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so it's easy enough that anyone could just do it. So like,
It's super easy. Yeah.
okay,
And the article on Yahoo News has links to all the places of where to do that at actually. Um,
because that's probably like step number one, like
yeah.
the big,
So
big, big thing
yeah,
to
so
do, right?
Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion are the 3.
Mhm.
And yeah, they're all free. You can log in and sign up and do it. The only thing to know, obviously, is if you're actually trying to open a credit card or buy a car,
You'll run into issues.
you will have to go in and unlock it first. Um, I did that once. I was trying to get my wife something for her birthday, and Kohl's forced me to like do the whole. You got to sign up for this. You're gonna save like $40. What kind of you must be a
Oh, I remember.
yeah you must be just insane to not want this. I'm like, I really just don't want a credit card, and they forced me to, and I signed up, and I totally forgot that my credit score was locked. So for the like $40 that it was or whatever, I got denied. I kind of felt silly sitting in the store being denied for a $40 transaction, but it's because I had everything locked
Mhm.
down. But it proves that same point. If someone went to one of those stores, pretending to be me. They had whatever ID and
Mhm.
data they had. I couldn't open a $40 credit card at Kohl's, or whatever. They might have
Right.
had like the minimum be $200 or
Yeah.
whatever the thing was. But I guarantee you they'll take that minimum
Mhm.
down to whatever integer they can to just make sure they cover the purchase,
Yeah.
right? So $100, like what is the lowest number they probably would have tried, like 2,000, 1,500,
Right.
down to whatever point, and it got denied every time. So
I just love the not to go off topic here, but I just love you were forced to get a credit
yeah,
card.
yeah, I couldn't help myself. It was
Like, that sounds hostile,
it,
like,
wa-
you gonna go on the record about that?
yeah. So you've been to some of these places. Like no shade against Kohl's, but there's definitely some high pressure
Yes.
environments to try to get you into their
Mhm.
credit card, and it was just like this, like you don't like money, they were just
Shame.
like you.
You don't like money?
Yeah, like I somehow they had given me $40, and in front
Mhm.
of this person, I was literally burning it in front of them, and they were just like actually somehow offended that like I was willing to burn $40, and so they're like, I'm like, fine, give me the credit card, I guess. Like I'll literally just drive home, pay it, and cancel it, right?
Right.
Like I've just fine if this is really making my life annoying, but if it makes you feel better that I'm not burning $40 in front of you,
That's what
let's
it's all about.
let's go for it. So then I went through the whole 15-minute process, and by this point there's like a crowd around me. I feel like they're all judging
Watching
me.
you.
Yeah, watching me. Like why
Judging
is
you, yeah.
judging me, and then she's like,
Look at this
sir,
guy can't afford
yeah,
$40.
sir, I'm sorry to let you know, but you got denied. I'm like, oof, that is rough. I could have been out of here half an hour ago
Right.
with my cash that I gave you a long time ago before I got judged. That this is no longer a means of payment in America.
Yeah. So, on that note, okay, so freezing credits, the first thing to do.
Yep.
What do we suggest probably the next thing to do?
I think if you can, I would totally get signed up for some of these like credit monitoring services.
Mhm.
I think we are all in enough of these that the letter I got, maybe it was like last week, Thursday or Friday, um, was one of the earlier breaches from the year that was fairly significant.
Sure.
If you don't have one, if you don't have one of those credit monitoring things,
Mhm.
call the number. I probably would have had I not had something. But those are good. They'll monitor your social security number and tell you, hey, something new came on your credit score. Someone bought a car, someone bought a house, someone did whatever. And if
Mhm.
it's not you, then panic, right?
Yeah.
Call someone,
Yeah.
call one of
Don't
these,
panic, just be
call one of the credit bureaus. Yeah, you could do your research and figure out who you have to talk to.
yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Some of the caveat to that though is be careful of what you do get in the mail because a lot of that can just be like spam. For example, in researching before we talked about this, there are websites you can go to regarding this whole specific data breach, like the National Public Data Breach. There's websites you can go to like type in your stuff and see if you like got breached, like if they're supposed in the record. Some of those may be legit. I'm not going to condone any of them or anything like that.
right.
But a lot of them could just be like, give me your name, social security number, da, 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 whatever. And it's just farming more information under the guise of like, we're going to report back to you, tell you if you got hacked. But really, it's just like a trick. So
Yeah.
be careful of stuff like that. Because I get stuff like that in the mail when there's like hacks and everything like that. People interpreting like the actual company that got hacked, whoever they are. And it's just more information. So just kind of be aware. Just like you get in emails, you have to be wary, double, triple check everything. You got to do that with snail mail too.
Yeah, and I think you can go online and
Mm-hmm.
Google like, hey, is this legit? Is this
Yep.
the letter I would have got? Is this the website? Is this the phone number I should be calling?
Yep.
Um,
Exactly.
a lot of these, I think some of the information, some of these, um, .gov would be a good place if
Yep.
there's a .gov that's look up whether or not I was
Hmm.
reached in some of these things. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't just start Googling that stuff.
Right. Exactly. And I'm just trying to see because I thought I saw something else. Yeah, freezing your credit's a great thing. I'm just looking through this article that we saw. Because yeah, freezing your credit is probably like the best one. They already talk about like protection, everything like that. Um, dark web monitoring too, kind of on
Yep.
top of that. Do a lot of those companies offer like dark web monitoring on top of that, or is that usually like a separate product in like the consumer space?
I think it's extra, yeah. So I think Experian does something. I'm sure it's part of their, and a lot of these credit bureau things will try to sell you their like Experian LifeLock Pro.
Sure.
So don't
Yeah.
sign up for that. There is a free tool to lock your credit at all three of these
Right.
bureaus.
That's
Um,
true.
Everyone's going to try to make money. So if you go to these websites, there's probably a chance they're going to try to sell you their
Yeah.
pro version that does whatever. These shouldn't cost you anything. It shouldn't cost you annually or monthly or anything.
But dark web service is probably going to
That
cost you
might
something.
that might be one of the premiums. So if you picked one of the three that you liked better and just thought, hey, um, we want to have dark web scanning for some of these. If
Mhm.
we think our passwords are getting breached or someone got into our bank
Right.
information or something, maybe having one of them would be fine. Um, but to sign up for the full version of all of them. Um,
Right.
I don't think that's necessary, um, because they're probably just going to do a lot of the same thing.
Yeah.
Times three would be unnecessary.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Let me see here. It's not confirmed. It has not been confirmed yet. If there's like, well, not confirmed. That's not really the right word. Um, I don't think there's anything about like a class action lawsuit yet or anything like that. Did you hear anything about that or no regarding this specifically?
Haven't no. And it's like we were talking a little earlier. I wonder it's so big that I don't even know what's going to happen. It might just be like, well, we're just going to make the social security database public now because what difference does it make at this point, right?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
we're going to have to find some sort of other way
Well,
to.
that's what you and I were talking about earlier today. It's like at what point, if everyone has it, like it's no longer secret or special or anything, at what
Right.
point it doesn't matter anymore?
Right now, we're gonna determine who you are based on DNA sequencing.
It's right.
Get
Something
your
like
finger
that.
pricked at the DMV to get a license now.
Exactly.
Yeah,
As if it wasn't already a bad enough
yeah.
experience.
It's not creepy at all.
No, not at all. Or not unsanitary either. Just
Right. Yeah.
pricking your finger at the same spot. Yeah. Okay. So those are pretty good examples. Anything other thoughts of people, what people should do? So we talked about freezing your credit's going to be like the number one really, really great thing to do. Kind of watch out for like any scam or any, weird fraudulent things you get in the mail because of this. Like kind of be careful. A lot of that stuff comes out during these things. Possible like dark web mining, stuff like that. Or any other really good closing things like both techie, untechie.
Yeah, honestly, I think the funny thing is sort of the article that I kind of read about this. It ended with "You're your own worst enemy," which I thought that was most hilarious. Is it was like there's all these great things you can do and
Yep.
wonderful whatever, but at the end of the day, it was kind of just like, people
Yes.
are actually the problem in these
Yeah.
things. Is
100%.
a lot of those breaches, and I didn't look too much into how this one occurred, but it does seem like it was another sort of social engineering thing, right?
Yep.
Where it's just like these things happen because people just
Hmm.
act too quickly and move too fast and don't think about what they're doing. So yeah, they said don't click on an email, call numbers, don't do anything else unsolicited that
Yep.
you haven't sort of like vetted separately. Um, and so yeah, just be extra cautious because I think it does happen sort of quickly.
Hmm. Yeah. Cool. Well, this is all. So kind of watch out for the news of it. There might be more developments on this topic if anything else gets like released. Again, it's a pretty new thing, so there's not really much else right now. But I think these are all some pretty great things you can start doing. A lot of it for free. Just takes
Yeah.
a little bit of your time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And it's one of the things we've talked about in a newsletter after newsletter after
Yep.
newsletter. It feels weird to even say some of these because I'm just like, I even brought up in the last newsletter, I was like,
Yep.
hey, if you've watched a newsletter before this one, you're probably about to hear a lot of the same things we've said already. And but I don't know that everyone does watch them. I don't know that everyone always does everything right away. So we'll just kind of be reminding people. It was even I'm trying to think of the Murray. What was her first name?
Who?
It's like she was the director of the consumer watchdog director for Theresa Murray from the U.S. Public Information Research Group.
Oh.
She, I think, was in a quote saying that like if people weren't taking precautions in the past, they should be doing this as this should be like a 5-alarm wake up call
Yeah,
for them.
right.
Like, so if you weren't worried about your credit or locking down your stuff or kind of getting a little bit of a handle on
Mhm.
your online identity, that this should be the moment where you're just maybe panicking a little bit.
Yeah,
Panicking is maybe the
wake-up call
wrong
sort
word,
of
but yeah,
thing,
like
yeah.
just like a wake up call to be like, hey, if you've been meaning to spend 5 minutes to call some of these people and get your credit locked down, maybe now's a good time because you probably have your social security out there. And when we talked about it earlier, I think these hackers are going to start putting together a dossier, right? It's like,
Yeah.
here's Chris. We have 9 different breaches, but we're going to put together like one package. We
Right.
think this is one person.
Right.
There's enough cross, matching data to be like, I know who these people are, and and those are probably worth a little more money because now it's like, hey,
Way more usable.
way more usable. I don't have to go find an address, find a date of birth, find
Right.
whatever. Like I can just get in one file everything. So this isn't an idea for the hackers. They're probably way ahead of us, but that's going to start happening where they're going to get a better picture of this. So
They
having
never
some of those things in place. And I think they recommend that. They're like, yeah, maybe if you start seeing your accounts being hacked, like start doing some of these things. And I was like,
already way too late.
that's way too late.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're already in your accounts. And they've already been doing stuff. Like, don't do it now. It's too late.
That's why you do it now, so that the next time it does happen, you're
Right.
in a better spot.
Right. And maybe you can get even some alerts of just like, hey, maybe Experian will alert you like, hey, someone tried to pull your credit score. Then
Right.
you can know, okay, I'm going to
Jump
be
ahead of it.
extra cautious. And I'm going to be keeping extra eye on my bank accounts and credit cards and things like that.
So start now
Yeah.
is the
Start now.
open a new tab after this podcast and pull up that Freeze website.
Go to those. Yeah, I brought a couple up. It's transunion.com/credit-freeze, Equifax.com. Well, that one's longer. They didn't make that one easy. Equifax.com/personal/credit. We'll put them in the description.
Yes, please.
Experian.com/freeze. Yep, create a free account, sign stuff. I've done these, and they will try to sell you stuff. So
Okay.
you
Good
just
to know.
you just got to make your way through the free thing. It's the typical upsell thing, right? Of
Mhm.
like, it's the Kohl's experience. "Oh, you don't want to get your $20 a month? Like, we'll lock your whole thing down and give you the. I don't remember for sure. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
But I do remember some of those. And they still then send me emails now trying to get me to sign up for something more.
Credit
So,
cards.
No, these.
No, I'm saying, what if they were trying to sign you up for credit cards? Wouldn't
They
that be
probably
ironic?
would have won. They probably would have got me. They'd have guilted me into it. Mr. Adams, you're burning money. How dare you? How dare you?
Oh my god.
Uh,
Cool. Any other notes, topics, or thoughts on this
no,
this
I don't
little?
think so. Yeah, the insanity continues.
So, that's very good.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you guys for being here with us.
Yeah. Thanks for being here. We're watching episode 8. Feels good to have this music as a backer.
It does.
We'll get you guys on the next episode. Have a great one.
Bye.
See ya.